Taylor Swift continues to prove that her dominance over the global music industry remains unshaken, even without announcing a new tour. At a time when live performances are considered the primary engine for relevance and revenue, Swift is defying industry norms by staying firmly at the top through strategy, catalog power, and cultural influence. Data from international music charts and major streaming platforms show that Taylor Swift's name still consistently ranks among the most streamed and searched artists worldwide. Her songs, both new releases and re-recorded classics, continue to generate massive engagement, pushing her catalog back into the spotlight and introducing her music to younger audiences. Industry observers describe this momentum as rare, especially in the absence of an active tour schedule. Analysts point to Swift's long-term vision as a key factor. Rather than relying solely on touring cycles, she has built a sustainable ecosystem around her music. Each release feels like an event, every move carefully timed, and every silence strategically meaningful. As a result, Taylor Swift remains one of the highest volume search keywords in entertainment, outperforming many artists who are actively promoting new projects. Public attention has also been amplified by Swift's high-profile relationship with NFL star Travis Kelce. While Kelce comes from the world of professional sports, his connection to Swift has placed him firmly in the center of pop culture conversations. According to sources close to the couple, Kelce is deeply proud of Swift, not just as a partner, but as an artist and businesswoman who continues to reshape the industry on her own terms. Those familiar with Kelce's inner circle say he has expressed admiration for Swift's discipline, work ethic, and ability to remain calm under constant public scrutiny. Witnessing her maintain global influence without the traditional support of a major tour has reportedly strengthened his respect for her strategic mindset and creative independence. Meanwhile, Swift's music continues to find new life across digital platforms. Her songs regularly trend on short-form video apps, are used in major advertising campaigns, and appear in high-profile cultural moments. This sustained visibility reinforces her status not just as a recording artist, but as a central figure in modern pop culture and a powerful economic force within the entertainment industry. Industry experts describe Swift's current position as a form of structural dominance. Rather than peaking with each album cycle, she operates in a continuous state of relevance. Every past release feeds into the present, and every present move builds anticipation for what comes next. In this context, the absence of a new tour has only intensified public curiosity. As of now, there has been no official announcement regarding future touring plans. Yet the silence itself has become part of the narrative. Fans, media outlets, and industry insiders closely monitor every update, knowing that when Taylor Swift does make her next move, the impact is likely to be global. With Travis Kelce openly proud and supportive, and with her influence showing no signs of slowing down, Taylor Swift's current era sends a clear message. Touring may amplify success, but true dominance does not depend on it. For now, the music world continues to watch and wait for the next chapter in a career that shows no intention of stepping out of the spotlight. Behind the scenes, executives at major record labels are quietly acknowledging what many had underestimated. Taylor Swift has reached a stage where her presence alone moves markets. Physical album sales continue to outperform expectations in an era dominated by digital streaming, and limited edition vinyl releases routinely sell out within hours. Retailers report repeat demand driven not by promotion, but by fan anticipation built over years of trust and emotional connection. What sets this moment apart is the absence of urgency. There is no countdown clock to a tour announcement, no aggressive media circuit, no overexposure. Instead, Swift's influence feels controlled, almost surgical. Every decision appears intentional, reinforcing the perception that she is no longer reacting to industry trends but actively shaping them. For younger artists, her current position is increasingly studied as a blueprint for longevity rather than short-term success. Streaming platforms have also taken notice. Algorithmic data shows that Swift's catalog experiences consistent spikes without external triggers such as award shows or live performances. This pattern suggests a self-sustaining listener base, one that revisits her music repeatedly rather than consuming it once and moving on. Music economists describe this behavior as catalog loyalty, a metric that very few artists ever achieve at this scale. The re-recorded albums, initially seen by some as a symbolic stand for artistic ownership, have now proven to be a commercial masterstroke. By reclaiming her work, Swift did not merely revisit the past. She reactivated it. Songs released more than a decade ago are charting alongside contemporary hits, blurring the line between legacy and current relevance. In practical terms, this means Taylor Swift is competing with herself and winning. As this dominance continues, public fascination with her personal life remains intertwined with her professional narrative. Travis Kelce's role in the story has evolved from headline curiosity to something more symbolic. To many fans, he represents a parallel form of excellence. Someone at the top of his own field who recognizes and openly admires greatness in another. Their relationship, while highly visible, has avoided scandal or distraction, instead reinforcing a narrative of mutual respect and stability. Sources familiar with Kelce's perspective suggest he views Swift's career not as something fragile that needs constant reinforcement, but as a structure already built to last. This viewpoint contrasts sharply with the traditional entertainment narrative, where constant output is often mistaken for relevance. Kelce's pride, according to those close to him, stems from witnessing how little she needs to prove, yet how much she continues to achieve. Meanwhile, the broader cultural impact of Swift's work continues to expand. Academic discussions, think pieces, and industry panels increasingly reference her as a case study in artist autonomy and fan-driven economics. Universities have introduced courses analyzing her songwriting, marketing strategies, and cultural reach. This level of institutional recognition further separates her from the standard pop star trajectory. International markets tell a similar story. In regions where touring has historically been essential for visibility, Swift's music maintains a strong presence through streaming, radio rotation, and digital communities. Fan-led initiatives translate lyrics, organize listening events, and drive organic promotion across borders. In effect, her audience has become an extension of her marketing engine, one that operates continuously without formal direction. Financial analysts tracking the entertainment sector note that Swift's brand partnerships remain selective but highly effective. Rather than oversaturating the market, collaborations appear infrequent and deliberate, reinforcing premium perception. This restraint not only preserves brand value but also ensures that each appearance feels significant rather than routine. As speculation builds around what comes next, one point is consistently emphasized by insiders. Whatever Taylor Swift chooses to do will arrive on her timeline, not the industry's. A new album, a tour announcement, or an entirely unexpected project could surface at any moment, or not at all. The uncertainty itself has become a strategic asset, keeping attention levels high without requiring constant output. For now, Taylor Swift occupies a rare position where absence does not weaken influence, it amplifies it. Without stepping onto a new stage, she continues to command headlines, dominate playlists, and define conversations. Travis Kelce's visible pride only reinforces the image of an artist fully in control of her narrative, supported rather than overshadowed by her personal relationships. In an industry often driven by urgency and noise, Swift's current chapter is marked by patience and precision. It is a reminder that true power does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it simply exists undeniable, unchallenged, and still very much in command. The longer this phase continues, the more it challenges long-standing assumptions within the music business. Traditionally, momentum is believed to be fragile, something that must be constantly fed through appearances, performances, and relentless promotion. Taylor Swift is quietly dismantling that belief. Her current run suggests that momentum, when built correctly, can become self-perpetuating. Radio programmers confirm that listener demand for Swift's music remains unusually strong. Requests do not decline between album cycles, and her tracks frequently re-enter rotation organically. This level of sustained interest is typically reserved for legacy acts decades into their careers, yet Swift occupies this space while still being considered a contemporary hitmaker. The distinction matters. It places her in a category that few artists ever reach, where time works in their favor rather than against them. Within the industry, executives increasingly describe Swift not as an artist reacting to the market, but as a market unto herself. Release windows adjust around her. Competing artists avoid overlapping schedules. Media coverage shifts focus the moment her name appears in any context. Even without touring, her gravitational pull remains strong enough to reshape industry behavior. At the same time, Swift's silence has become a form of communication. Fans analyze not only what she releases, but when she chooses not to. This dynamic has transformed anticipation into engagement. Online communities remain active year-round, dissecting lyrics, revisiting past eras, and theorizing about future projects. Rather than fading during downtime, fan activity intensifies, filling the absence with speculation and renewed interest. This environment further reinforces her commercial stability. Merchandise sales tied to previous eras continue to perform well. Special editions and anniversary releases generate spikes comparable to new album launches. In financial terms, Swift's catalog behaves less like a backlist and more like a living portfolio, one that appreciates with time. Travis Kelce's presence in this chapter adds another layer to the narrative. As someone accustomed to peak performance cycles and physical limits, Kelce reportedly views Swift's longevity with a sense of awe. According to sources, he recognizes the rarity of her position. An athlete's understanding of how difficult it is to stay at the top, combined with the awareness that Swift has managed to do so without burnout or visible decline. Public appearances between the two, though limited, consistently generate global coverage. Yet the focus rarely shifts away from Swift's professional stature. If anything, Kelce's admiration underscores her authority. The relationship does not redefine her image. It complements it, reinforcing a sense of balance between personal fulfillment and professional dominance. Culturally, Swift's influence continues to ripple outward. Her songwriting themes resurface in broader conversations about ownership, identity, and growth. Younger artists cite her not only as inspiration, but as proof that creative control and commercial success do not have to be mutually exclusive. In interviews, emerging musicians increasingly frame their ambitions through the lens of sustainability rather than immediate virality, a shift many attribute to Swift's example. Internationally, her presence remains formidable. Markets in Asia, Latin America, and Europe report stable growth in streaming and physical sales alike. Even in territories where English-language releases typically face limitations, Swift's catalog performs above average, driven by strong fan translation communities and localized digital campaigns initiated organically rather than officially. As months pass without a tour announcement, speculation has not cooled. It has intensified. Industry insiders note that the question is no longer if Swift will tour again, but how she will redefine touring when she does. Expectations have expanded beyond stadiums and set lists, with many anticipating a concept that aligns with her current era of control and selectivity. For now, Swift appears comfortable letting the world wait. There is no visible rush to capitalize on the moment because, by all measurable standards, the moment is not passing. Charts remain strong, engagement remains high, revenue streams remain diversified. The machine is running efficiently even in low gear. In this context, Travis Kelce's pride feels less like celebrity commentary and more like confirmation from an outsider looking in, someone recognizing a level of dominance that transcends hype. His perspective mirrors what analysts and fans alike are observing. Taylor Swift is not sustaining success through constant motion, but through structure. As the industry watches closely, one conclusion becomes increasingly difficult to ignore. Taylor Swift has entered a phase where activity is optional, relevance is guaranteed, and influence is constant. Touring, once considered essential, has become a choice rather than a necessity. And so the story continues, not with a dramatic announcement or a sudden return to the stage, but with a steady, undeniable presence. Taylor Swift remains at the center of the music world, not because she demands attention, but because attention continues to find her. As this chapter stretches on, the contrast between Taylor Swift and the rest of the industry becomes even sharper. While many artists are locked into short promotional cycles, release, tour, repeat, Swift operates outside that loop. Her career has evolved into something closer to a long-term narrative, where each phase builds on the last rather than replacing it. This structural advantage allows her to step back without losing momentum, a privilege earned through years of consistency and trust. Music data firms note that Swift's listener demographics continue to widen. Her audience is no longer confined to a single age group or cultural segment. Instead, it spans generations, from longtime fans who grew up alongside her early albums to younger listeners discovering her catalog through streaming platforms and social media trends. This cross-generational appeal ensures that interest does not spike and crash, but flows steadily over time. Another key factor is narrative ownership. Swift has successfully positioned herself as the central storyteller of her own career. Every album, re-recording, and public move fits into a broader arc that fans understand and follow closely. This sense of continuity keeps engagement high even during periods of reduced visibility. In effect, audiences do not feel abandoned, they feel invited to wait. From a business perspective, this approach has altered how success is measured. Traditional benchmarks like tour revenue and first-week sales remain important, but Swift's performance highlights the growing value of long-tail metrics. Sustained streaming, catalog resurgence, brand longevity, and cultural relevance. Financial analysts increasingly point to her as evidence that the most valuable artists are those who can generate consistent returns without constant reinvention. Travis Kelce's continued association with Swift subtly reinforces this perception. As a figure accustomed to seasonal careers and physical limits, his admiration reportedly centers on her ability to pace herself. Sources suggest he sees her restraint not as absence, but as efficiency, knowing when to act and when to let existing momentum do the work. That perspective resonates strongly in an era where burnout has become a visible issue across entertainment industries. Media coverage reflects this shift as well. Rather than speculating about decline or questioning silence, headlines increasingly frame Swift's position as intentional dominance. Articles analyze her strategy, dissect her influence, and compare her trajectory to legacy icons who reshaped their industries. The tone has moved from curiosity to recognition. At the cultural level, Swift's music continues to function as a reference point. Her lyrics are quoted, analyzed, and repurposed in digital spaces that extend far beyond traditional fandom. Whether through social commentary, personal storytelling, or business decisions, her work remains embedded in broader conversations. This omnipresence ensures that even without active promotion, her relevance is constantly refreshed. Meanwhile, competitors are forced to adapt. Release calendars shift. Marketing campaigns adjust tone. The industry's response to Swift's sustained dominance underscores her impact more clearly than any chart statistic. When one artist's inactivity still influences collective behavior, it signals a level of authority few ever reach. Speculation around future projects remains intense, but notably restrained. Fans anticipate rather than demand. Insiders observe that this dynamic, where the audience waits willingly, is one of Swift's greatest assets. It removes pressure from the creative process while preserving excitement for whatever comes next. In this environment, touring has transformed from expectation to option. Swift has proven that her career no longer depends on constant visibility, but on accumulated value. Each year adds weight to her catalog, her narrative, and her influence. Time, once an adversary in pop music, has become an ally. As the months pass, the conclusion grows clearer. Taylor Swift is not merely surviving a pause between tours. She is redefining what dominance looks like in the modern music industry. Supported by unwavering fan loyalty, reinforced by strategic silence, and accompanied by a partner openly proud of her achievements, she continues to set the pace without ever needing to rush. For now, the story remains open-ended. No announcements, no countdowns, just sustained power. And in an industry driven by constant noise, that quiet control may be the loudest statement of all. As the narrative unfolds further, industry veterans are beginning to speak more openly about what Taylor Swift represents at this stage of her career. Some describe her as an inflection point, an artist whose success is forcing a reevaluation of how power, relevance, and longevity are defined in modern music. The traditional life cycle of a pop star, once rigid and predictable, no longer applies cleanly when her name enters the equation. One recurring observation centers on leverage. Swift's bargaining position with platforms, distributors, and partners is virtually unmatched. Because her audience follows her unconditionally, intermediaries compete for access rather than dictate terms. This shift has quietly altered the balance of power across the industry, setting new precedents that ripple outward to other high-profile artists seeking greater control over their work. At the same time, Swift's cultural visibility remains remarkably resilient. Even in periods of reduced public appearances, her presence is felt through indirect channels: fan-driven trends, retrospective analyses, anniversary celebrations, and renewed interest in earlier albums. Each of these moments functions as a reminder that her catalog is not static. It is continuously rediscovered and reinterpreted. This phenomenon has also influenced how success is perceived by the public. Rather than equating relevance with constant output, audiences increasingly recognize the value of endurance. Swift's ability to remain central without saturating the market has reframed expectations, particularly among younger listeners who are more attuned to authenticity and long-term storytelling than to relentless promotion. Travis Kelce's continued pride and support subtly reinforce this broader shift. From the outside, his admiration reads as validation from someone who understands elite performance under pressure. In professional sports, dominance is fleeting and windows of opportunity are narrow. Kelce's perspective reportedly highlights just how extraordinary Swift's sustained control truly is, especially given the volatility of the entertainment world. Observers also note that Swift's personal narrative has avoided the instability that often accompanies prolonged fame. There are no public breakdowns, no visible desperation for attention, no reactionary moves. Instead, her career progression appears measured, almost architectural. Each decision adds another layer rather than tearing down what came before. Internationally, the effect is cumulative. Global fanbases remain active despite language barriers, time zones, and regional market differences. Digital connectivity allows Swift's influence to circulate continuously, independent of physical presence. In many ways, she has transcended geography altogether, operating as a global constant rather than a touring-dependent act. This steady state has implications beyond music. Marketing strategists, cultural theorists, and even economists cite Swift as an example of how personal brands can evolve into durable institutions. Her name carries weight across sectors, from fashion and film to sports and digital media. That versatility further insulates her from the typical peaks and valleys of pop stardom. As anticipation builds, speculation remains carefully balanced. There is excitement but not anxiety. Fans trust that whatever comes next, be it a tour, a release, or an unexpected pivot, will arrive fully formed and intentional. This trust is perhaps her most valuable asset, cultivated over years of transparency, consistency, and respect for her audience. In this sense, Swift's current dominance is less about visibility and more about gravity. Everything around her continues to orbit, even when she appears still. The industry watches, adapts, and waits, knowing that when movement does occur, it will recalibrate the landscape yet again. For now, Taylor Swift occupies a rare and powerful position. Present without performing, influential without insisting, dominant without noise. With Travis Kelce openly proud and the world quietly attentive, her story advances not through urgency, but through inevitability. And in an industry built on constant motion, that may be the most disruptive force of all. As this period of sustained dominance continues, a deeper shift is becoming visible beneath the surface of the music industry. What Taylor Swift is demonstrating is not merely popularity, but insulation. Very few artists reach a point where external shocks, market changes, platform algorithm updates, or shifting audience habits have minimal impact on their relevance. Swift appears to have crossed that threshold. Industry insiders now speak of her catalog as infrastructure rather than content. Her music is embedded across platforms in ways that go beyond playlists. It lives in fan rituals, cultural references, and digital memory. Songs resurface not because they are pushed, but because audiences actively seek them out. This behavior fundamentally alters how success compounds over time. What is particularly striking is the absence of narrative fatigue. In pop culture, overexposure often leads to backlash or disengagement. Swift's restraint has produced the opposite effect. By allowing space between major public moments, she has preserved curiosity. Each pause functions as a pressure chamber, building anticipation rather than draining it. This approach stands in stark contrast to the current content economy, where constant output is rewarded in the short term but often erodes long-term value. Swift's model suggests an alternative path, one where scarcity enhances impact and patience becomes a competitive advantage. For many executives, this realization is forcing a recalibration of how artist development is approached. Meanwhile, her influence continues to quietly shape release strategies across the industry. Labels hesitate to schedule major launches near potential Swift activity, even when no announcement exists. The mere possibility of her return is enough to influence planning. This level of preemptive adjustment underscores how deeply her presence is felt, even in absence. Travis Kelce's role in this ongoing narrative remains understated but symbolically significant. In interviews and off-field commentary, his admiration is framed less as celebrity excitement and more as professional respect. Those close to him suggest he views Swift's career through the lens of legacy, something athletes understand acutely, given how quickly physical performance declines. From that perspective, her sustained peak appears almost unprecedented. Public perception reflects this maturity. The focus is no longer on whether Swift can maintain success, but on how far she can extend it. Questions once reserved for late-career icons are now applied to her in real time. This shift in framing marks a turning point, from star to institution. Culturally, her impact continues to ripple outward. Discussions around artist ownership, fair compensation, and creative autonomy frequently cite her as a reference point. Even outside music, her decisions influence broader conversations about control and authorship in creative industries. She is no longer reacting to these discussions. She is shaping them. Digital behavior supports this assessment. Search interest in Taylor Swift remains consistently high, spiking not only around releases but during quiet periods as well. This pattern indicates active curiosity rather than passive consumption. Fans are not waiting idly. They are engaging, revisiting, and interpreting. The narrative is alive even when no new chapter is formally released. International engagement further reinforces her stability. In markets where touring once served as the primary driver of visibility, Swift's music maintains strong performance metrics through streaming and social amplification alone. Fan communities organize themselves, translating lyrics, archiving eras, and sustaining momentum without centralized coordination. As time passes, the absence of a tour announcement has taken on a different meaning. It is no longer perceived as a gap, but as a statement. Swift has demonstrated that touring is no longer the foundation of her relevance. It is an extension of it, to be deployed when and how she chooses. This reality places her in a class apart. While others chase momentum, she curates it. While others rush to fill silence, she allows it to speak. And while the industry remains fixated on cycles,